Now, a little earlier this year, I introduced you to an impressive young bloke campaigning for a sensible debate on nuclear power in Australia. Will Shackel is just 16 years old. He's a Brisbane-based schoolboy. And today he got the opportunity to address a Senate inquiry in Canberra. Have a look.
We're at a real turning point here in Australia where I would really encourage that we have an open mind to nuclear energy, that we have a fact-based debate, and we give a platform to experts like those behind me who really know their stuff.
Yeah, impressive stuff. Will's the founder of Nuclear for Australia, and he joins me again now. Good to talk to you, Will. When we first caught up with you, you just started your campaign, a social media campaign. We heard you make your case. You've been continuing to do that on social media, picked up by other television stations and radio stations lately over the last few days, and now in federal parliament. You must be really encouraged by how many people want to hear this argument about the need for a domestic nuclear power industry.
Well, look, today was a real turning point, I think, in the debate. We heard not only from myself, but many, many experts live in Canberra present to the Senate Environment and Communications Committee. And look, I've been really blessed with the support I've received for my campaign, and I thank you for your the initial platform you gave me on your show. Like you were mentioning, I've had a very busy day. I started off with Sunrise, had a few radio interviews, then I presented in the Senate my evidence, press conference after that, another radio interview. Now
Great
this.
stuff. Well, and the arguments you're making,
very good.
Great stuff, Will. The arguments you're making are very familiar to people who watch this station. They're about the need to get reliable, long-term energy for this country, and if you don't want it to have emissions, then nuclear is the obvious answer, and it's safe and affordable, and all the rest of it. And there are other experts there giving evidence today in the Senate hearing, which is great. It just demonstrates how this is becoming a frontline political issue. Tell us about the petition you've been running, how much success you've got, and how people can find it and sign up, because I know you're pretty close to getting the numbers you want.
Yeah. So my petition to legalise nuclear energy, that's via change.org/Nuclear for Australia. And I know you promoted that on my first interview with you. That's, I think, now over 5,000 signatures. So that's, I think, a real testament to the grassroots support in Australia. Look, I'm no Friends of the Earth Australia or Australian Conservation. It's truly a grassroots campaign, no funding, and I think it goes to show the level of support that exists in Australia from that petition. So if you're interested in nuclear energy, if any of your viewers are, please, I'd encourage you to sign it.
Look, you're doing very well, and you must have been jumping out of your skin last Thursday night when Peter Dutton put nuclear energy front and centre in his budget reply speech.
What I would say in regards to that announcement, obviously it's a step forward. I think it would have been better if the Liberals had made some action on it a bit earlier, but I think importantly, nuclear energy should be treated as a bipartisan issue. It shouldn't just be an issue for the Liberal and National Party. Labor and the Greens should really get on board, and I think hopefully we have some opportunity for that. And that's why I wrote to the Prime Minister, and that was published, I think, yesterday. And I'd encourage him to respond and to seriously consider the evidence that was provided today.
Great stuff, Will.
I think what's really...
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I was just...
All good.
Quickly, you finish off then?
Yeah. What we've seen around the world is bipartisan support for nuclear energy. You look in the US, where the Democrats also support nuclear energy, and they made an investment in their bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Indeed, and we'll keep an eye on that. We've got a lot of Greens in Europe supporting... Indeed. Great stuff, Will. Great advocacy. Keep it going, and we'll keep in touch.